mantra, work hard, play hard, is seen as a virtuous way to live your life. No well-intentioned person should ever disagree and disencourage you from working hard and taking pride in your craft. And we should put great effort into the things that we are passionate about, and we should take it seriously. There is a great meaning to be found in the pursuit of something that you love, something that you feel is bigger than yourself. And we should be encouraging others and ourselves to find enjoyment in our lives by putting our time into something that is worthwhile. But the reality of the situation is that your best will look different every day. Your maximum effort will not be identical each day. Some days you start off with positive momentum and you make a fully productive day feel effortless. And other days you wake up feeling deprived of sleep, sore, or simply just not at your best. Some days the pressures and responsibilities of life may feel heavier than other days. And this is partially outside of your control, as you can attempt to do everything right to set yourself up for a good day, but sometimes it is simply just not meant to be. But through optimizing a good routine for yourself, you can predictably set yourself up for success from the moment that you wake up, generating positive momentum that can carry you throughout your day. When it comes to the question of how hard you should work on a particular endeavor, there is a variety of questions that should be taken into consideration, such as what are my short, medium, and long-term, and even lifetime goals? What does the achievement of those goals weigh in comparison to everything else? And finally, what am I willing to sacrifice in order to attain these goals? In this life, you will inevitably suffer. There is no way around this reality. But we are in a unique and prosperous time in where we have all of our basic survival needs already met for us, such as food, clothing, and shelter. We have the freedom to choose where we work, what we choose to study, who we choose to marry, and what hobbies and activities we take part in. We have the ability to ultimately choose who we become, and we have the choice to change it if we want to do so. There are absolutely things that we have no control over, such as what family we're born into, our physical location in the world, and any limitations or disabilities that we never asked for. But apart from that, our current reality is the result of the accumulation of our day-to-day decisions, habits, and thinking patterns. Nobody is coming to save you from yourself. Therefore, our happiness and our personal satisfaction with our life is nobody's responsibility but our own. So while our lives inevitably come along with suffering, we get to choose what type of suffering we endure. Whatever decision or change, even if it's positive, that we decide to make for ourselves, you're also choosing the pain and the sacrifice that comes along with that choice. If you want to get into better shape, you have to endure the pain of strenuous exercise, early mornings, going without foods that are non-conducive to long-term health. Being healthy comes with its own degree of difficulty, sacrifice, and suffering. But so does obesity and disease, illness, and a higher chance of premature mortality. And this is to say nothing of the severe reduction of the quality of your life along the way. Both options are hard, but you can choose your suffering. If you want to establish a better relationship with your family members, you have to endure the difficulty of forming interesting activities with them, and you have to have tolerance with them. You have to suppress your own negative emotions and mental fatigue. That way you aren't miserable with them and are somewhat reasonably enjoyable to be around. If you want to have a closer relationship with your loved ones, it's going to take effort, and you will sacrifice everything else that you could be doing at that time. But the effort is well worth it because the alternative is the pain that comes from harmed relationships. A spouse that resents you because they feel that they were not made priority in a relationship. You may have children that will grow up with their own unique set of problems now because they feel that they were not loved and valued to the degree that they should have. And you'll be greatly harmed by this as well, emotionally and psychologically, because you may feel that you failed to hold your family together. Even though your heart may have been in the right place, therefore you can justify your absence, knowing that you're only trying to provide for them. It's hard to hold a family together, but it's even harder to watch a family fall apart. So choose your suffering. It's hard to pursue a dream. You'll have late nights and early mornings. Discipline sacrificing time with friends, self-doubt, uncertainty, thousands of hours of hard work, and the consistent reminder that it may never even work out. It's also hard to live with yourself knowing that you gave up too early or never even tried at all. It's hard to look at yourself in the mirror knowing that you are not living up to your potential and not being all you could be. Both options are hard, so choose your suffering. When we look back on the times that we're most proud of ourselves, it usually is the completion of something that took a great amount of effort to complete. When we pushed ourselves and struggled against our own fears and doubts and insecurities. When we placed our noble aim at the attainment of something that is not just good for ourselves, but good for our family and our friends and the broader community and the entire world. And not just good for today, but for tomorrow as well as next week, next year, and a decade from now, and even infinitely into the future. This can make the world a better place for everybody to coexist in and set things on a more positive trajectory. In the end, you can choose which suffering that you wish to endure, but you don't get to be without suffering. You have to suffer for something.